Well, I hope you found that challenge intriguing. I thought it was a good way to start our deliberations, being brave in what we do. And I think you're going to see a number of examples this morning of museums responding, bravely to that challenge of providing a space where people can collaborate and learn and begin to develop that momentum for economic and societal change. I'll be really interested to hear from you during the course of the rest of today how Sam's presentation played for you. So into the room, I'm really grateful for Martin Ettlinger from the Verkehrshaus, the Swiss Transport Museum in Lucerne, who's stepped in at short notice for one of his colleagues who's unwell and unable to travel. And I believe his presentation follows on rather well from the keynote. Martin, over to you.
Thank you, Sam. Hello, everybody. My first time in this group. A warm welcome from me to you as well. And I just, in the next 15 minutes, I want to show you how brave we are right now in Switzerland. We are very, very brave, actually, because we just built a new house for energy and sustainability. So this is actually the whole presentation. I could stop here, but of course I don't. Let's go into it first from a large scale and then into the exhibition itself. Well, a transition to clean energy is about making an investment in our future. Yes, we have to invest now to be ready in the next decades. That was the first investment of the Swiss Museum of Transport in 1959. That's how it looked like when it all started. And today we have this area of 20,000 square meters. Here on the very right, you can see an old building with this shaped roof. That's the old building which we had to tear down because it was old, and this is where we build our house of energy right now. Some facts and figures to start with. They're dry but important. Just to give you some examples about our admission numbers. In 2019, we had almost 1 million of admissions. As we have different attractions with their own tickets, it's not the same as head count visitors. It was 560,000 in 2019. As you compare this with 2021, it went down, of course. That was also due to the 2 months we have been closing because of COVID. But as you see, the museum is overperforming, actually. It was overperforming also in 21 because people, they wanted to reunite again. They wanted to have culture, and that was actually a very good year for us as well. I won't go into details here. You probably get the presentation and can see a bit more. An important number is that we had in 2021 a 5 years all-time record of 3,037 school classes which visited the museum in this year. That's about 52 and 50 students which visited the museum in the class groups. Of course, there were much more children, but this is just with teachers. And then the last years we knew that we had to rebuild this building, and we thought, what are we going to do there? And we started from the scratch and also in a large scale, and we found out that mobility, actually, our goal of the Swiss Museum of Transport, mobility in all ways, it's aviation, it's trains, it's road and ships, and also space. We have it all in our museum. This mobility actually is the center of the whole system we live in. It's not working A society is not working without mobility, without technology, of course, and without a good environment, sustainable, ecologic environment. And therefore, we also followed the other megatrend, sustainability. In 2017, Switzerland did one of its famous public votings, and we love public votings, as you know. And one of the most important one was there, where we just decided for the next 30 years what's next in energy and sustainability. So we had a energy strategy 2050, which is now about to develop. It's on its way, and we have, of course, climate goals and the reduction of the greenhouse gas emissions, and we want to go out of fossil fuels and all that. So we have public votations. We have already something special. Probably we have the public, which is behind it already. But still, there's a lot of work to do and a lot of people to convince. And then this year started the new mega topic, actually, which is energy and energy shortfall. Due, of course, to the war situation in Russia, and also the whole rethinking of energy. And all this together fits perfectly, actually, with our goal and our new house we want to create. So, but before we go into this, into our solution or our thing to deal with this all, I want to introduce you the Swiss Sustainable label, which is a label enterprises in Switzerland can get regarding sustainability. And now I just try to start this. Great.
How far we've come. Our curiosity has taken us around the planet. We've traveled over land, water, and through the air with fire in our hearts. We used to travel to arrive. Now we travel for its own sake. Here in Switzerland, we've created endless hiking trails, spectacular bridges, and built cable cars that reach the highest peaks. We've always cared deeply for nature. Our love for nature is in our DNA. Sustainable travel comes naturally to us. What others see as a distant goal, for us, comes as standard. It's time to give this standard a name. We call it Swisstainable. Swisstainable stands for excellence. Swisstainable serves as a blueprint, because we know that when nature is left untouched, the more it can touch us. And that's something worth preserving for generations to come. It's time for a new way of traveling. Over land and water, through the air, with plenty of fire in our hearts.
So, this was actually, it's a campaign.
How far we've come. Our curiosity has taken us around.
Sorry, just have to move on, but I don't. It's a bit in the way now. That's bad. Here we go. So, as you can see, it's a big theme in Switzerland, and this new label, this Swisstainable label, is now very attractive, and a lot of Swiss firms they want to get this label. We as well, of course, and we now put all these things together. We have transport, we have energy, and we have sustainability. So we built this house of energy. And how do we do that? We use, of course, our knowledge, our legacy, which is edutainment. We are the opposite of a academic house, actually. Even we have academic content, but we try to translate complex themes into edutaining happenings. This is how our museum works, and that's probably also why it works so well with children and students, which are the next generation. So we took this opportunity, and we moved off or on to a new level when we are about to build this house, the House of Energy. Here you can see the visualization of it. We are now about to do the isolation on the roof. It's very close to be finished. We will open it in April 23. So please come to Switzerland and visit us after the opening, I would suggest. Then you have a really new and interesting house to see. And of course, we want to go also with the house itself as a good example. So it's not, of course, not fossil heated. We have a lakewater area energy center included into this building, which is providing us with CO2 neutral heating and cooling energy for the whole area, also for the other buildings. It's about 80% of this energy need that we can then cover with this new system. And of course, as you see here, we have, this is the north side actually. Oh, sorry. The north side of the building has photovoltaic panels. On the rooftop will be covered. The south part even more, that also the visitors can see already and can learn from the building itself. We have this, we will achieve these 3 labels: Minergie, you probably know the standard Minergie P, Swiss, sustainable, and with First Climate, we do an ecological footprint. And we did this on purpose twice. First, now, before the building is in charge, and then a second footprint we do afterwards. And of course, we will show that to our public, and we will show how massive the reduction of fossil fuels and how it will be. So I think this is also education and on the spot, actually. And now inside. What are we showing in this new building? Of course, there are top floors where our new offices will be in, and also some rented out offices to get some revenues. But on the floor, on the base floor, we have 600 square meters, and we want to fill them with an energy exhibition. There is a visualization of it. It's about 9 meters high, so we have a lot of space, and we're gonna fill this. Therefore, we created a vision. We wanted to be the best place to experience, understand, and help to shape mobility and energy in an interdisciplinary way. So that means it's of course haptic, it's of course edutaining, but it's also, we want to create people that visit this exhibition, we want to create the feeling, wow, something needs to be done, but not finger pointing, not you are bad, you have to now change everything, otherwise we will all die. This is not how it works. We are convinced it's about motivating them. Of course, yes, I have to do something, and I can do something myself, every individual, but it's also fun. And we want to give this idea of how amazing technology is about to develop and how we can have a good and even better life when we just change. And as we have also a lot of diesel motors and Formula One cars, we get a public that is not used to think of environmental issues. And this side catch will be very important also to get the big change in the minds of Swiss people, actually. And the mission is translating a very complex system into very clear results, actually. And we are very good in translating. And that's why we also try to do this complex energy system and try to bring this to an understandable way. So that's why we work together with governmental bodies as well. So, of course, cantons in Switzerland, the regional organizations of government, and the federal institutions as well, they are very interested in working together with us as we have a big outreach. And as they have complex strategies of 200 pages which nobody can read, and they also need partners to translate their policies, actually. And then we try to implement projects also in collaboration with the big research institutions of Switzerland, like the ETH in Zurich, and other very famous research universities. So, and the exhibition is based on 3 pillars. It's first the learning lab, where you probably know already from this is how we work. It's an exhibition, special topics, edutainment. But then it will be much more, and this is new. We will create also a platform for discussion. We want to be the place to discuss energy themes in large scale with public, also among experts, also in public-private relations. Therefore, we want to use our conference and event platforms to be the place where conferences are held, where people come together. We want to be the institution everybody thinks first in Switzerland when talking about energy and sustainability. Therefore, we also changed we have, probably you know that we have also a big movie theater in our area, and this movie theater now has a new stage where you can now have conference like this one. And then we have a planetarium, a large-scale planetarium, which we just rebuilt now, the Technique inside, and there we can also, it's a great place actually to discuss in this full dome area. And then the third pillar, which is probably very new, it's also very new for us and for you, is the so-called living lab. We want to create a living lab. That's very difficult to explain, actually. It's something more virtual, but also haptical. It's like the place where research and society comes together. We want to invite researchers from Swiss research institutes to work or present the results of their work in our house, that our visitors can understand what they are doing and can not only understand but also be part of research. It's a lab, so we try to find ways where our visitors can be part of social science programs. That probably they are asked in our exhibition questions. How do they feel? How would they react? Probably they go to the no tunnel or to the yes tunnel after answering a question, and then there is this interaction. This is something which is not easy to build, and you cannot just buy a demonstrator and that's it. It's something which has to be created, and we have specialists on board. We have also a science consulting board, which helps us in this whole 3-pillar exhibition. So, just to give you a first idea of how this 600 square meters will be filled, it's about 4 areas actually. The first is the energy facts. We need to introduce the energy principles, some physics, but also the history of it and how it's all be where we are. And then we have an island about everyday's life. How is energy consuming working in the everyday's life? And then we have a communication and job field. This is to introduce also new jobs which are created in the energy field right now, sustainability consultant, for example, and other more traditional jobs, high voltage operators and all that. And then we will also talk about opportunities, and this is where science is helping us. We will show the future. We will show how this all could be in 2050. So we have this vision spot where we work probably with holograms and very futuristic themes. So that's the first sneak peek about our exhibition. And I just finished with this Dalai Lama speech or quote: "The natural environment sustains the life of all beings universally." And as I hear, we're quite on spot. Thank you very much.